SEO, PPC, and social media in B2B content strategies. Search engine optimization, SEO, pay-per-click advertising, PPC, and social media branding are B2B content marketers' main tactics in our digital marketing age. In this second of 3 articles, find out how to incorporate each tactic into a comprehensive B2B content strategy. In our last edition of this newsletter, we reviewed the 3 main options for online B2B content marketing campaigns. We considered the benefits of search engine optimization, SEO, pay-per-click advertising, PPC, and social media branding, and when to use each of these tools. In this edition, we'll step back from the tools themselves to gain a broader perspective. We'll consider the role each of our tactics plays in developing a comprehensive B2B content strategy. Before leaping to plug SEO, PPC, and social media branding into your content strategy, there are some initial tasks your team needs to complete. Most importantly, you need to base your B2B content strategy on a defined target audience and on specific marketing goals. Is your strategic goal to increase brand awareness, generate leads, drive conversions, or is it some combination of these objectives? On which target audience segments does your team plan to focus, and what are their demographics, interests, pain points, and preferences? Answering these questions is always more complicated for B2B content marketers because decision-making processes in the business world are more elaborate and convoluted than in households. There are multiple decision makers and influencers, all of whom have distinct priorities and expectations. So your team will often have to consider multiple demographics, pain points, and goals. Having separate buyer personas for each member of a typical buying panel in your target industry can be helpful. Your team should also determine how to measure success and failure in meeting your objectives. Which results, such as organic traffic, keyword rankings, impressions, click-through rates, or conversion rates, should you use to assess how well you've met your team's objectives? The other key task your team needs to complete before identifying opportunities to deploy SEO, PPC, and social media branding is to identify messaging for each buyer persona. Having determined the appropriate messaging for each typical buying panelist, your team should work out a content calendar, scheduling each item along with its optimal distribution channels. Having worked out objectives and messaging, your team can begin applying SEO and PPC principles to its content calendar. The first step is to conduct keyword research to determine terms and topics related to the interests and pain points identified for your target audience. Then, as your team follows through on each content calendar item, it will optimize that content by incorporating relevant keywords, meta tags, and structured data. As we noted in the previous edition, the best SEO strategy is always to create informative and relevant content, without which these tactics will fall short of attaining your team's goals. SEO doesn't involve spending hard dollars, but its results are gradual and organic. For faster and more predictable results, PPC is the preferred approach. The keywords and search terms from your initial research can also drive a PPC campaign. Your team should select high-intent keywords and search terms, including product names, industry jargon, and solution-based search phrases. Then, your team would place pay-per-click ads on search engines and relevant social media platforms, such as LinkedIn, based on those target keywords. These ads would link prospective clients to landing pages on your brand's website, aligned with your brand's ad copy and product offering. Where the goal is to foster brand loyalty and business relationships, social media branding is the preferred B2B content marketing tactic. Your team would share a mix of curated and original content on targeted social media channels, once again including LinkedIn. The content to include in social media posts includes blog posts, infographics, videos, case studies, and industry news. Since social media's main advantage is its user-generated content, your team should encourage comments, messages, and discussions. Social media branding is also a highly effective channel for influencer marketing and thought leadership. B2B content marketers sometimes overlook influential thought leaders working at their own companies. Although we've looked at these tactics in isolation, that's a bit artificial. Your B2B content marketing strategy will often call for your team to deploy all of these approaches together. For example, your content calendar might call for a coordinated campaign of optimized SEO within the content items your team creates. At the same time, you might synchronize PPC ad campaigns using the same keywords while sharing social media posts linking to the content items, including those keywords as hashtags. Once the content calendar is up and running, your team should analyze data to identify trends, insights, and opportunities for improvement. One of the key advantages of online content is that it's quick and easy to edit, modify, and adjust on the fly in response to new information. Successfully deploying SEO, PPC, and social media branding requires thorough strategic planning. It also calls for a skillful blending of these tactics aimed at clearly defined B2B content marketing objectives by drawing on each tactic's advantages. In our next edition, we'll consider how SEO, PPC, and social media branding relate to the B2B buying journey. Watch this space as we consider how each tactic lends itself to the awareness, interest, desire, conversion, and advocacy stages of the customer relationship.